incredible. Notice, submission is often a painful result of someone else's decision. Think of Jesus on the cross. Someone else's decision causes us pain. That's what submission is. And so that's why we have to wrestle. Here's another fact. Wrestling is necessary in your relationship with God. We are wrestling with our call to submit. We're wrestling with our unity with God. There are 3 stages of relationships, and we are having a relationship with God. The first stage is acquaintance, where you're like, oh yeah, everything's superficial. The second stage is conflict. And the third stage is intimacy. You cannot get to intimacy without conflict. God designed us, therefore we must have conflict with God. Now, knowing you cannot avoid conflict, now you can have 3 responses to conflict. You can either numb out, you can go to Facebook, Netflix, you can socialize, you can go to exercise, you can do art, your dance if you're AMSy and creative, and have all those amazing gifts. I don't. You can go to that, or you can do nothing and just totally avoid God and just go the other way. You can fight God and call it wrestling, but it's not wrestling. Fighting God is, you're wrong, God. I know what's best for me. How dare you? How could you do this? There's a bitterness that sets into your heart. But wrestling is when you're trying to get your heart right. It takes work. But like Jacob, who wrestled all night, to get the blessing in the end, we need to wrestle to get a peace of heart and mind, to get that true gratifying relationship with God. Remember, Israel means one who wrestles with God. Let me share an illustration about wrestling. I was in a rodeo once, and so I did this event called calf mugging. And so I had to wrestle down an 800-pound cow. The back of this thing is like here. And so I have to grab underneath I have to grab a horn or an ear, and I have to grab underneath of the chin, and you have to pull it up and then lay it down, and then go on top of it, and then your partner ties the legs. Well, I'm the one on the ground, and so I go, and the calf is lassoed, so I'm running around. So I get the cow, whatever, it's huge. Anyways, and so I get it, everything just like I'm supposed to, except I put my foot in the middle of the cow's feet. And so as the cow's going down, I'm going down. And so I end up, the cow falls on top of me, and I get a face and a mouth full of dirt. But I am not letting go, because I just got 800 pounds of beef on the ground, and we're staying down. And I will get a time, because that's why I'm here. So I roll over, I flop, I probably look like a fish, I flop on top of the cow. My partner comes, she ties the legs, and we're like, time, we're victorious! And I just look disgusting. But I was not going to give up until I got that blessing. Wrestling with God is the same. You should have a mouthful of dirt. The worst of your heart will come into your mouth as you profess it and confess it to God, apologizing. It's going to be nasty. If you aren't being nasty, honest with God, you're not wrestling. You will have weight fall on you. The heaviness of the situation will crush you if you do not wrestle with God. Your footing can be wrong when you're not walking in step with God. Wrestling is so strategic. You just got to keep going. A great book to help and assist in your wrestling for submission in your relationship with God is Created to Be a Helpmeet by Debbie Pearl. Man, girl, you're going to have to wrestle with yourself just to get through the pages. I suggest read a chapter a week. And there is one for the single ladies. It's called Prepared to Be a Helpmeet. It's a wonderful book. Read just a chapter a week and put everything you learn into practice in that week. But in conclusion, as Jephthah's daughter wrestled to submit, let us do likewise. It's okay to not agree with God. It's fine. But let's say no to numbing out. Let's say no to fighting God. And let's wrestle for true unity and true intimacy with our amazing Father and God. Thank you, and God bless.